Hello, this is Ken Courtright, founder of Today's Growth Consultant and Income Store, two companies that own over 200 websites that are seen over 50 million times each year. Our sites are partnered with industry thought leaders, CEOs, authors, and athletes. We are currently under contract splitting revenues of 8 figures, and we are one of the 500 to 600 fastest growing U.S. companies. I wanted to do a video that kind of branched off a video I did a little bit ago on leverage. And leverage, as I defined in the previous video, is using another website or another person's following or audience. Well, the biggest tool out there today that offers anybody leverage is a tool called Google. It's a search engine. I refer to Google as Mother Google. So if you have a website, we're all playing in Google's sandbox, if you will, so it would be good to understand how Google operates. How does Google rank a website? So I'm going to share with you a little bit here in a couple minutes of how Google does that. So back in the day, mid-1990s, Google filed a number of patents, of how they are going to determine as a search engine, or a better way to put it is, why should this website show up above this website? Why should this website outrank its competitor and show up number one on page one? So for years, everything was driven on what's called credibility. And the way Google would determine credibility is they would measure how many other websites, especially websites from the same industry, have ever mentioned this website. So if we look at a little frame of reference right here as this is a website, the way Google could say, okay, is this a credible website, would be to analyze how many other websites out here in the same industry have mentioned this website right here. So to say it a little bit differently, let's say this is a plumbing website. If this other plumbing website, if somewhere on the page of this plumbing website, it said, and here's another great resource for do-it-yourself plumbing repair, check out www.abcplumbing.com, and if you clicked it, it opened this website, that would be a hard mention or a link to this website. So what Google did and still does today, but the major component of how Google chose to evaluate credibility is how many other websites had a hard mention or a hard link into this website. So this brings us to about January of 2012, about a year ago from the date of filming this video, and Google started to make a shift. They made dozens of major algorithm changes in 2012, but 8 of the changes spoke specifically to a shift going from just adding up and counting how many links were pointing to a website, and they made a shift. So we'll call those links pointing to a website credibility. Google spent a lot of 2012 shifting some of how they evaluate a website and its rankings to what's now called popularity, or what I call popularity. So credibility, again, is calculating, adding up how many links are pointing to this website. Popularity is how Google now measures, how many people are out there moving a section of this website online today. So let's say this website right here maybe has a Pinterest button above every page. Somebody goes into this plumbing site, sees a great do-it-yourself tip, and they pin it to Pinterest. Well, if they pin it to Pinterest, that might be, let's call it a +1 or a social signal. And what Google now does to check the popularity of this website, they measure the social signals. So to take a step back and define these social signals, a social signal might be somebody goes into this website, they tweet a page of this website, they tweet it out, and then somebody retweets that page to somebody else. The retweet would be a +1 or a social signal. Maybe somebody comes into this plumbing site and they share this piece of content to 200 of their fans on Facebook. Well, that share on Facebook might be a +1 or an additional social signal. So today, what Google's doing to determine if this website should outrank another website is they're adding up the links pointing to the site. We'll call that credibility. How credible is the website? But now they're also, to a very high degree, adding up all the little social signals of how many times that website's been moved socially on the internet. We call those social signals. And that total social signal count we now call popularity. So the way Google ranks a website specifically is they measure the credibility, how many people are linking in, and the popularity, how many people are sharing those pages, and those two things combined in their algorithm to determine should this website show up above that website. Hoping what I've shared with you today is valuable and helpful. I know if you're looking for some more information, or this kind of opened your eyes a little bit and you'd like to see more information on exactly how we're generating our revenues online, please click the link on this page.